News 5 at 11 starts now.
It's been over 24 hours since the manhunt for the Maine mass shooting suspect began, and at this time tonight, the alleged suspect, Robert Card, is still not in custody, with hundreds of law enforcement personnel searching the state, trying to track this guy down. The 40-year-old is facing an arrest warrant for 8 counts of murder after he shot up a bowling alley and a restaurant in Lewiston, Maine, killing 18 people and leaving 13 others injured. Just hours ago, authorities surrounded a home with the last known address associated with Card in the town of Bowdoin, shouting demands for him to come out, but police say they're unsure if Card was there or not. Search at the home has since gone quiet, and we begin to hear from witnesses in a community shaken to its core.
When I turned around, I saw the shooter right behind me. He had just come in the door. We barricaded in there, and another parent was in the room with me. She had a phone. She called 911.
On the heels of the mass shooting in Maine, a topic now being discussed is red flag laws, a law that would keep firearms out of the hands of individuals struggling with mental health. According to law enforcement, the accused Maine shooter has a history of mental illness. News 5 anchor DeLon Dillard reports tonight.
Currently, neither Maine nor Ohio have a red flag law. After the deadly tragedy in Lewiston, some in Northeast Ohio now say it's a law we need to consider in our state.
Overwhelmingly support, we like to call them extreme risk laws, when someone is at risk of harming themselves or someone else. We support them 100%.
A red flag law would legally allow a person's access to weapons be restricted, according to Case Western professor Michael Benza.
It's most often directed towards a finding that the person has a mental health condition, that condition makes them, again, either a danger to themselves or a danger to others. That then allows, pursuant to that order, the local law enforcement to then seize that person's weapons.
But not everyone is on board.
Our concern is what happens in terms of due process. We don't want to see a law like this utilized as revenge when someone's going through, a nasty divorce or a nasty business dispute.
While some against a red flag law believe this could violate someone's constitutional rights if they're going through a tough time, others argue
if, someone is going through that type of situation, a judge is willing to look at that.
Last year, Republican State Senator Matt Dolan introduced a bill to enact red flag laws here in Ohio. Right now, that bill, SB 357, is still in the Senate. Policy experts, though, say the restriction could just be temporary, and in some cases, like in Maine, where the shooter had documented health issues, could save lives.
The idea behind this is for a period of time to eliminate the easy access to their firearms so that hopefully they can then receive treatment, and then if they are restored, then their weapons can be returned.
DeLon Dillard, News 5.
Okay, there is more. In 2019, the Maine state legislature passed the yellow flag law after years of calls from gun control advocates for the state to pass red flag laws. Now, keep in mind, they're two different things. Most red flag laws allow family members, law enforcement, teachers, or other specified parties to petition a judge to have somebody's firearms confiscated if they're deemed a threat to themselves or someone else. Maine's yellow flag law only allows law enforcement to make that petition, and they have to take that person into protective custody before the petition's even made. The law also mandates a medical evaluation before the case can be presented to a judge. Maine U.S. Representative Jared Golden and U.S. Senator Susan Collins were at the news conference earlier today talking about the mass shooting and what needs to be done at a legislative level. Golden is a Democrat who's voted against bills that would ban assault weapons in the past, but he's now reversing his long-held stance.
The time has now come for me to take responsibility for this failure, which is why I now call on the United States Congress to ban assault rifles like the one used by the sick perpetrator of this mass killing in my hometown of Lewiston, Maine.
Republican Senator Collins did not comment on her stance about banning assault weapons, only saying that the state of Maine has a long heritage of responsible gun ownership. We'll pass along any new details on the search for Robert Card as they come in.